Hello, everyone. Oh, my word. I am so excited to be on here tonight. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kimberly Ledford, and I am so excited to be sharing a little bit of my story and a system that I created to help me simplify my business. You can find a supply list, all the printables, and a picture library with all these resources, a little bit more detail about what I'm going to teach you tonight by clicking the link in the description of this video. Well, if you and I have never met, I just want to thank you for being on here. I am a consultant in the Chastina Rose unit and a future sales director in the Toupin national area. You know what? I absolutely love what I do, and I am so excited about the changes I've seen in my business and where my business is going. I am married to my high school sweetheart. I love to say that James and I have been dating for 14 years now and have lots of years left ahead of us. We have two of the most awesome kiddos in the entire world. And you know what? We're an active family. We are involved in our church, our kids' school, our community. Our lives, like yours, I'm sure, are very busy. I want to preface this video by saying, if you have a system that for working with your clients and managing your business that you absolutely love and it's working for you, do not change it. In fact, you can just click off this video right now, because if it's not broke, you don't need to fix it. I have totally made that mistake a ton of times in my past and went down that rabbit hole. And I promise you that it will not serve you well to keep changing your systems and scripts over and over. Now, if that's not you and you are frustrated and overwhelmed and just all the things have been driving you crazy, then come sit by me and I'm going to show you something really awesome. You know, simple systems and consistency in activity is really what's going to serve you well in your business. What you do today, you're going to see results from in about 3 to 4 months. So if your business is not where you want it to be, then I would recommend that you pull out your calendar and go back and see, what was I doing 3 to 4 months ago? Who was I seeing, or the lack thereof? You know, a few years ago, I got super overwhelmed in my personal life and my Mary Kay business. There was so much information coming at me from every direction, it seemed, and my brain was literally on overload. My director had just come out with her new monthly sheet. My senior director had come out with a new program to help us build our future national area, and Linda was coming out with some awesome new programs and challenges. And you know what? At the time, I was also adopted into a local group of directors in my state that did things very differently from what I had been taught. And then there was Boxer and Facebook and text messages. Oh my. Well, much of what I was receiving was double and triples of the same communication. On top of that, I had my own customer base and team that I was trying to work with. Oh, and did I mention a husband and 2 toddlers and extended family missions issues that I had been dealing with? And did I mention that I was also in charge of a very large ministry within my church that demanded a lot of my time? My head and my wheels were spinning. I had big dreams, but was nowhere close to where I wanted to be. And so one day, my director and I were having our weekly coaching call, and we basically had a come to Jesus meeting. Anybody else ever had one of those? I love her dearly, and I know that she always comes from a place of love, and she wants the best for me and my family. And so she can sometimes say things to me that other people necessarily can't. And so that day, she kind of gave me a swift kick in the pants. She told me that I needed to get rid of everything and that I needed to get back to having fun in my Mary Kay business. She said I had taken on too much, and in the midst of all that overwhelm, that my confidence had just taken a major hit. She recommended that I start small and get some small daily wins under my belt to help my confidence grow. She also said I needed to get intentional with my activity. Did you hear that? Intentional with my activity. I needed to see more people. And I knew that she was right and agreed to give it another shot. And since then, my business has completely changed. You know, there are a million awesome ideas and cute tracking sheets out there. Every director in National has something amazing to offer you. But you know what? I have a secret for you. None of those ideas are going to serve you well if you don't put some action behind them. There is no magic tracking sheet. There is no wonderful magic idea that's going to change everything. It's simply the action that you put behind it. You know, Pastor Michael Todd says that what the devil cannot destroy, he distracts. Oh my word. Anybody else easily distracted? Anybody else a high I personality? Girl, I get it. You know what? I realized I was distracted and had to strip away the unnecessary. I had to unfollow a lot of people on social media and pages. You know what? That meant NSDs and top directors too. I had to remove myself from over 70 Facebook groups so that I didn't get sucked in and lose my focus. I turned off all my notifications. I deleted social media apps from my phone because I had gotten into a habit of mindlessly scrolling. I started only checking my apps or my social media accounts twice a day on my laptop with a timer. I started scheduling posts for my group, for my customer group. I had to control how much TV I was watching and cut that back too. You know what? I'd taken on a lot of additional commitments of serving in multiple areas at my church and in my community that I had to let go of in order to move into what God had in store for me. Those things, while they were wonderful and great, they were not what God had for me. They were not the best. Just like the horses in the Kentucky Derby have blinders on so they can only focus on running their race and not seeing the horse to the left or to the right of them, I had to put my own blinders on. I had to get clear about what I wanted from my business and the effort that it would take to get there. I had to focus on running my own race. The freedom, the focus that I got from unplugging and getting rid of all that excess has been incredible. I also knew that I needed to simplify so that I could simply fly. Implementing my system took me from being in the top half of my unit to number 2 years in a row. It took me from not even being on the scoreboards in our national area to being in the top 20 for the consultants. My average sales ticket went from $40 to right around $70. My party sales went from $200 to $350. And my booking rate increased by 50%. I also went from occasionally earning a star consultant status to being consistent and becoming an all-star. So let's get started and dive in. I run my entire business from 2 things. My binder, my little miniature binder, and my profile card box. I run everything from this. I love the flexibility that this gives me for being able to work my business wherever I'm at, whether that's the carpool line, the coffee shop, a doctor's office, or even just in my back porch. But you know what? You name the place, I can work there. I keep the system in a miniature binder because I really like the portability of it. I have done it in a full-size version before, but this can get kind of cumbersome. And this fits in my purse. This little book has 5 tabs in it, and I've labeled those book, coach, sell, recruit, and notes. I also have a few page protectors throughout, and you can get all the supplies for this at Target, Walmart, the dollar store, your local office store for about 10 to 15 bucks. Okay, So you're also going to see some blank sheets and some example sheets, and that's because my customers trust me to keep their information private. And so I have a whole stack over here on my desk of everything that goes in this binder with their information. On the front cover of your binder is where you want to keep your vision board. It's where you want to keep your main goal so that you see it every day. Right now, my main goal is my team, my unit name, and growing to become a next Toupin director. We are going to be Kimberly's Queen Bees. Now, this summer at seminar, I received a bracelet from Linda. She did not know this, but I have been praying about growing my belief. You see, that's something that you probably don't know about me. I struggle with believing in myself. And for the last 2 years, every mentor that I've spoken to, every top director that I've asked advice from, they have all told me I just need to believe in myself. And so this summer when I got my bracelet, Linda made a comment and kind of giggled and said, I didn't pick these out specifically, so whatever bracelet you get will be the one that God intended for you. As I opened it up, I started to cry because the verse on my bracelet was, go, let it be done for you as you have believed, Matthew 8:13. And I knew that God was going to move me into the next area of my business, and I am so excited about it. All right, so in the very front pocket of my little binder, right here is where I keep something called the Pink Achiever Tracking Sheet. Really, this thing is so stinking simple, and I love it. It is literally, who have I put product on and who have I shared the opportunity with? I have made it my mission. You know, those stats I shared earlier are pretty awesome. Would you believe that those stats came just from doing a perfect start every month? If you're a new beauty consultant, then that is part-time activity in Mary Kay. It is 15 faces in a month. And I chose a few months ago to bump up. I knew that I wanted to be a sales director, and so I increased that activity to a power start. And you know what? That was 3 months ago I made that choice. Remember earlier I said that what you do 3 months ago, you will see the rewards from that in a few months. Well, it's August, and by the 11th of this month, sorry. By the 11th of this month, I had in 22 faces already. Oh my word, that is so exciting. Right behind my Power Start sheet, I have weekly accomplishments. And this is probably one of the most important sheets that you will ever fill in your Mary Kay business. This is where you keep track of your Mary Kay money. It's where you know, it's how you know what you're getting paid and how much. This is your accountability to your family, your team, your unit. I fill in my accomplishments throughout the week, each day as I make a sale or spend time doing booking calls. By the end of the week, all that information is already done, and I don't have to go hunt for sales tickets. I can put in my weekly accomplishments in just about 10 minutes or less. Okay, so the next thing in my binder, right in front of my first tab, is my consultant daily checklist. This, my friend, is going to be the thing that helps you stay focused. You see, your success lies in your daily activities. And this helps me make sure that the tasks that I'm doing are income producing. Remember I said scrolling social media does not create income for your family. Booking calls do that. Follow-up does that. Offering this business opportunity does that. To the right of this sheet, you will notice that there is a 5 o'clock club list. You know, Mary Kay Ash was a firm believer in the 5 o'clock club. She was a single mom to 3 kids when she was growing her direct sales business, and she knew what it was like to run a Mary Kay or a direct sales business with small children, with a family. She knew she could get more accomplished in an hour before her children woke up than she could get all that complete all day long with all the distractions. So, the first thing on your list is prayer and devotion. I love to just get my mind in the right headspace just to start off my day with the Lord. After that, I listen to Voxer or the $1 Million Message while I'm doing the following: making my 6 most important things list, checking my production on InTouch, checking for new orders on InTouch, listening and writing down my voicemails, checking and return text, filling orders, writing 2 new postcards to my key consultants, my new consultants, or people that just need encouragement and celebration, writing welcome cards to my new customers, thank you and reminder postcards to current customers, filling out my Pink Achiever sheet, my team building layering, and packing for events if needed. Then it has your personal power hour. Now, depending on what your business goals are, you might want to do this sheet 3 days a week or 1 day a week. If you want to move up to be a car driver and a sales director, you're going to need to do this sheet 5 days a week. Okay? And so during your personal power hour, you're going to focus on 20 dials or reach outs per day. And what are you going to do during those? You're going to do booking calls. You're going to do interview booking calls. You're going to do follow-ups with people that you've shared the opportunity with. You're going to confirm your guests and pre-profile. You're going to return customer voicemails only during your power hour. You're going to do your 2-day, 2-week, and 2-month follow-ups. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then you're going to reach out to your customers who are on your preferred customer list when the new mailings come out. You're also going to coach your classes and hostesses. There's also a spot on here for leads and referrals. And then this right here, this little quote, is what reminds me to have self-discipline. Anybody else struggle with that? Can I get an amen? It says the only difference between a professional and an amateur is that a professional plays even when he doesn't feel like it. All right, so let's move on to tab number 1. This is my booking tab. This is where I keep all of my booking scripts and my bubble sheets. I work on the 21-day booking challenge, and so I have my scripts right here so that girls, listen, you do not need 55 Blue Million scripts. You need the basics, and you need to stick with them. From a strategic perspective, your results will be very skewed and all over the place if you keep changing your scripts, okay? So I keep these here so that I never have to hunt, because if you're like me and you get distracted real easy, if I have to go find something, I'm going to see another paper, or there's going to be something out of its place and it's going to have to get fixed, and then 5 hours later I come back to this list. Anybody can relate? So keep your scripts in here, whatever scripts you choose, whatever works for you, put it there. Next is a weekly bubble sheet. So this is something that I have chosen to really grow in my business. I used to do these once a month, and what I found was after cancellations and postponements, just doing one a month usually yielded me a perfect start of 15 faces. And so this summer I switched to doing 1 per week. Remember those 10 booking calls that you were going to make? Well, there's 10 bubbles right here for each day of the week so that you can focus on just 10 booking bubbles every day. By the time you finish 4 of these sheets a month, you will have a power start booked. Now, after my bubble sheets comes your contact list. If you're a new beauty consultant, this is your big church wedding guest list. You know, the average big church wedding sends out 150 invitations for that. And so as you become a seasoned consultant, you're going to continue to add people to this list, okay? And when you become a seasoned beauty consultant, you will get referrals. So I also put any referral sheets that my customers give me right behind this. And when I'm working through my consultant daily checklist and I've done my 10 booking calls and then I'm working through the rest of that list, those referrals are going to be the next people that I call, okay? Tab number 2 is hostess coaching. Now, every time I book a hostess, I fill in this sheet. I love it because it helps me to work my business full circle. You'll notice that in this binder, a lot of my sheets have been printed at half size. Anything that you need to print full size like this because it'll be too small, I just change my 3-hole punch to the 5.5-inch setting and punch it on the short side. Then you can just fold it and a full-size paper will fit in here. I use this whenever I book a hostess or a facial, because here's the thing, you want to turn your facials into parties. And so I fill these in and then I file them in order of the next party coming up. I keep extra ones in the back because, again, I don't want to get distracted when I'm working my business. I want to have everything I need in one spot. Tab number 3 is your customer service tab, and this is really where your profile card box is going to come into play. So I put all of my profile cards, after we put all their information into Mary Kay InTouch, their profile card goes in this box. It has 12 monthly tabs, and behind the first 4 months, it has these little sub-tabs that I printed on cardstock that say week 1, 2, 3, and 4. Essentially, you're going to contact your customers 2 days, 2 weeks, and 2 months after every sale or facial. And if you click the link in this video, I have a complete description of that system and how it works right here. I printed this out because I like to have that handy too, and then I printed all the scripts. So everything is here. Also in my selling tab are 2 page protectors. One says contact this week and one says contact done, file in box. So what you're going to do to keep your system portable, you're just going to pull out the current week's profile cards, stick them in your binder, and then throughout the week, you're going to call them, move them to the done section. At the end of the week, you're just going to bring your profile cards back and file them in your box. It takes me about 10 minutes to do all that. All right, the next tab in your book is your team building tab. This is where I keep our Toupin area recruiting layering sheet. I absolutely love this sheet. It is amazing, not just for recruiting. The average person needs 4 layers before they'll be able to make a decision in how to, whether or not they wanted to join Mary Kay. And so I love this sheet because it helps me see the layers that my customers have had. But you know what else it does? It shows me the holes in my business. It shows me the next step to go with my customers. If I know that she's on product and she's been a hostess, but maybe I have not invited her to a guest event, maybe I have not given her a career packet, then I know that that's my next step with that customer, okay? Behind my layering sheets are where I keep, anytime that I share the choices audio, I have my customers fill out the choices sheet, and once they filled it out and returned it to me, I put it in here so I can follow up with them. Once I have followed up with them, and I do the same thing with the hostess sheets, I actually take this out and paper clip it to their profile card. Behind that, anytime that I share marketing information, whether it's at a party or a guest event, if my director comes to town and does a special event, we have everybody fill these out. This is what we use to gauge their interest. And so I keep these in here until I can follow up. The next to last thing in this section is also anybody that you do a career chat with. You are going to keep their interview form in here until your director has had a chance to follow up with her and we have her decision. Now, I took out my notes. The last thing that I keep in my team building section is my notes on my personal team. I try to reach out to them a couple times a month just to check on them and see if there's anything I can do to help them or if they need anything. Also, how can I pray for them? And I keep those notes here. All right, the next tab is just plain note paper. That's it. It's where I keep my notes from workshops. If there's a Voxer message that I listen to and somebody says something, I think, ooh, I don't want to forget that. I jot it down in this section. And that, my friends, is everything that you need to run your Mary Kay business. It is back to the basics. The number one question I get is, where do I start? This looks amazing. If you're a new beauty consultant, you're going to start with your contact list and the booking section because really nothing happens until somebody sells something. If you're a seasoned beauty consultant, then you're going to pull out all of your profile cards and set them in a stack, and you're going to pull the ones that you have worked with in the last 30 days. Anybody you've facialed, anybody you've serviced for reorders or offered the business to. After you've implemented that group, then you're going to begin integrating the rest of your profile cards as you do booking calls, as you receive reorders, as you do preferred customer program follow-ups. Then you're also going to add in your contact list and book new appointments. It's a balance. You're always going to have customers in all stages because, like Linda teaches us, you're going to build new customers, work through the system with those customers, then recruit the circle of influence and give away that pocket of customers. And so you're constantly developing and giving away customers. I am so incredibly passionate about this system because it is crazy simple. It keeps me focused on the 4 cornerstones of this business: book, coach, sell, and recruit. I have one last secret for you. There's nothing inherently magical about this binder on its own. If you assemble it and you set it on your desk, nothing's going to happen for you. The growth is going to be in the activity that you put behind it. When you focus on your effort, the results will follow. The level of those results will be determined by the level of your activity. Remember that what you do today, you'll reap rewards from in about 3 to 6 months. This system is incredibly simple. It's only what you need for those 4 cornerstones of your business. If you choose to implement this system, then I want you to consistently work it for 6 months before you change or tweak anything. Remember, consistency in your daily activities is where your success lies. So as a future director of the Queen Bees unit, go get buzzing and go book, coach, sell, and build your team. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys.